The story begins with a moment that nobody expected to explode across the NFL conversation. What was supposed to be just another game week quickly turned into a firestorm of speculation when whispers began circulating that Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Cleveland Browns, was sabotaging rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders during prep week for the matchup against the San Francisco 49ers. At first, it sounded like internet noise, typical fan frustration, social media exaggeration, or speculation meant to stir up engagement. But within hours, the conversation escalated. Fans began dissecting practice reports, locker room interviews, sideline behavior, and even the tone Stefanski used when speaking about Shedeur. The narrative gained traction when several online commentators pointed out unusual details from team practice sessions. According to reports, not proven, but widely discussed, Shedeur was allegedly given fewer first-team reps than expected. Others claimed his responsibilities in the game plan were limited or restricted, which fueled the idea that the coaching staff wasn't fully supporting him. Whether any of it was true didn't matter anymore. The perception had taken on a life of its own. Fans got louder, analysts started asking questions, and suddenly the Browns found themselves in the middle of an unexpected storyline involving their head coach and the young quarterback who had captured national attention before ever stepping into an NFL stadium. The timing couldn't have been worse. The Browns were preparing to face one of the toughest teams in football, the San Francisco 49ers. A franchise known for its elite defense, physical front, and relentless pressure. It was the absolute worst environment for internal drama, but the story continued gaining momentum. By midweek, social media platforms were filled with claims, arguments, and breakdowns from fans who believed they saw signs of frustration on Shedeur's face during practices. Some noticed Stefanski being harder than usual on him. Others said teammates looked uncomfortable or unusually tense whenever Shedeur made a mistake or Stefanski raised his voice. None of this was proven fact. But in today's NFL media landscape, facts rarely travel as fast as perception. The rumor mill feeds on emotion, especially when a highly anticipated rookie quarterback is involved. And Shedeur Sanders, being the son of Deion Sanders and one of the most talked-about prospects in the country, brought a spotlight unlike anyone else. As the narrative spread, outside analysts weighed in. Some said Stefanski was simply coaching Shedeur with tough love, the same way he coached other quarterbacks. Others argued that the team wasn't fully committed to Shedeur as the future, and that Stefanski preferred a more traditional, system-friendly quarterback. Every tiny detail became evidence for someone's theory. Did Stefanski trust Shedeur? Was he protecting him? Was he limiting him? Or were fans seeing shadows where none existed? What truly ignited the controversy was the reaction inside the Browns' locker room. Reporters began noticing tension, not open conflict, but uncomfortable energy. Veterans stepping in between younger players. Quiet conversations that ended abruptly when media entered. Even small remarks during press conferences caused speculation. One Browns player said, "We just have to stay focused and block the noise." But fans believed the noise referred to the alleged friction between Stefanski and the rookie. Another player said the team needed everybody pulling the same direction. Instead of calming the situation, the comment fueled theories that maybe not everyone was aligned internally. By this point, the locker room was under a microscope, and every statement, no matter how harmless, was interpreted as part of a deeper rift. Then came the game preview interviews. Stefanski praised the 49ers, their defense, their pass rush, their discipline, and their physicality. But his comments about Shedeur were shorter, more reserved. Fans felt he was unusually cautious when discussing the rookie's preparation. That tone alone rekindled the idea that Stefanski wasn't fully confident in Shedeur's readiness. To some, that sounded like good coaching, protecting a young player from too much hype. To others, it sounded like confirmation that Stefanski didn't want Shedeur starting at all. Online arguments became louder, fan bases clashed, analysts debated, national outlets covered the rumors. And even though nothing had been confirmed, the emotional weight of the story kept growing. Behind the scenes, teammates reportedly tried to calm Shedeur, telling him to ignore the outside chatter. Some sources claimed Shedeur was unbothered and focused, while others insisted he felt frustrated by the narrative surrounding him. But one thing was clear, the team was walking into one of the biggest games of the season with more off-field noise than they had handled all year. And then came game day, where everything that happened on the field only intensified the conversation. The hours leading into the Browns versus 49ers matchup felt tense. Broadcast crews picked up on it. Sideline reporters mentioned the speculation surrounding Shedeur Sanders. Analysts referenced the swirling narrative about Stefanski's coaching decisions. Even commentators who usually ignored drama couldn't resist mentioning the rumors because the story had grown too large to ignore. When Shedeur stepped onto the field for warm-ups, cameras zoomed in. Every throw, every expression, every interaction with teammates was scrutinized. Some fans said he looked dialed in. Others said he looked distracted. Stefanski kept his distance at times, talking briefly with his quarterback but spending most of his time with assistants and other units. To some, that looked normal. To others, it looked like confirmation. What happened next during the actual game only fueled the fire. The Browns' offense began slowly, with conservative play calling, short passes, handoffs, and minimal risk. The 49ers' defense quickly recognized the pattern and tightened up. Fans immediately went online, accusing Stefanski of holding Shedeur back. They argued that he wasn't allowing the rookie to showcase his arm talent, mobility, or creativity. The Browns ran predictable plays. The 49ers adjusted, and online accusations grew. Whenever Shedeur attempted a deeper pass, the pocket collapsed. Whenever he scrambled, the 49ers closed gaps. Whenever he tried to extend a play, someone in red and gold was already in his face. The 49ers' defense is elite. That part is undeniable, but fans insisted something else was wrong. Many argued that the Browns' offensive line looked unprepared. Others claimed protections weren't adjusted, blitz pickups weren't communicated, and Shedeur wasn't being given the tools to succeed. Some viewers believed it was simply a rookie facing a dominant defense. Others believed Stefanski did not trust Shedeur to handle the full playbook. Still others argued the staff was intentionally restricting the offense to avoid mistakes, which ironically created more problems. Analysts disagreed on the cause, but everyone agreed on one thing. The Browns' offense looked disjointed. On the sideline, cameras captured brief interactions between Stefanski and Shedeur that fans immediately dissected. A moment where Shedeur looked frustrated after a series. A moment where Stefanski appeared stern while talking to him. A moment where teammates rallied around the rookie while Stefanski spoke with other coaches. Innocent moments, yet each one became viral online. Halftime commentary poured gasoline on the flames. Pundits questioned Stefanski's game plan. Former players criticized his conservative approach. Several even suggested that Stefanski needed to open up the offense or risk damaging Shedeur's confidence. If they intended to calm the conversation, they failed. Instead, halftime became a second ignition point. The second half didn't help the narrative. The Browns continued running short, safe plays, screens, slants, checkdowns, designed rollouts with minimal risk. Fans began asking, was Stefanski protecting Shedeur or holding him back? The line between caution and sabotage blurred in the eyes of the public. Then came a drive that changed the whole conversation. Shedeur made a spectacular throw on the run, threading a laser between defenders, proof of his natural talent. Fans erupted with excitement and anger. Why isn't he allowed to play like this? Many asked. Why is the playbook so limited? Some insisted Stefanski didn't want Shedeur succeeding too fast. Others said Stefanski was simply coaching conservatively. As the game neared its end, the Browns were behind. Stefanski finally opened the playbook, allowing Shedeur to attempt deeper throws, aggressive reads, and quick decisions. Suddenly, the offense looked alive, the rookie looked confident, and the team moved the ball. This single shift fueled more theories. Why wait until the game was nearly over? Why not let him play like this from the start? Was Stefanski testing him? Or had he been too cautious earlier? When the final whistle blew, the Browns had lost. But the game itself became secondary to the uproar that followed. Fans flooded social media with accusations, claims, conspiracies, frustrations, and emotional reactions. Some defended Stefanski, saying he protected the rookie. Others accused him of sabotaging the young quarterback. Hashtags began trending. Sports networks opened their post-game shows with the controversy. Analysts debated passionately. And the locker room? That's where the story truly exploded. When reporters entered the locker room moments after the loss, the tension was unmistakable. Players spoke in short answers. Energy was low. A few players seemed frustrated, not only by the loss, but by the narrative swirling around their quarterback and head coach. Shedeur Sanders was calm, collected, and respectful. He avoided controversy. He refused to criticize coaches. He focused on his own performance. But teammates around him seemed protective. Several stood close during interviews. One veteran lineman told reporters, "We all need to be better. Protecting the quarterback starts with us." But that didn't calm things down. In fact, it intensified speculation. Why did they feel the need to defend him? Why did they emphasize protection? Why did so many players surround him after the game? Then came the moment that went viral. A defensive player, frustrated and overheard by nearby reporters, said quietly, "We need a plan that fits him." He didn't mention Stefanski, but the implication was heavy. Minutes later, another player told reporters, "There's too much noise already. We can't add more." Again, the meaning was unclear, but the public interpreted it as confirmation that something was brewing internally. Reporters began connecting dots. Body language, protective remarks, defensive comments, the conservative play calling, the online uproar, Stefanski's sideline demeanor. The narrative grew larger by the minute. Analysts began talking about a locker room divide. Fans insisted players were angry. Commentators argued the team was rallying around Shedeur, not Stefanski. Inside the building, coaches attempted to shut down the conversation. Stefanski himself addressed the media calmly. He praised Shedeur's toughness, his film work, his preparation, and his commitment. He insisted there was no conflict. But fans didn't believe him. The controversy had grown too big, too emotional. Throughout the week, former NFL quarterbacks weighed in. Some criticized Stefanski's conservative plan. Others defended him, saying rookie quarterbacks need time and structure. But almost all agreed on one thing. The Browns needed clarity and unity before the situation spiraled. As days passed, players began stepping up to defend their coach. Some denied any tension, others emphasized team unity. Shedeur himself dismissed the rumors as outside noise, showing maturity far beyond his experience. Still, the controversy remained alive. Because in the NFL, perception is sometimes stronger than truth. What began as rumors about sabotage grew into a larger conversation about coaching styles, rookie development, team chemistry, leadership dynamics, and fan expectations. Whether Stefanski was being overly cautious, strategically conservative, or misunderstood, one thing was clear. This was not just one game. This was the beginning of a new era in Cleveland. An era defined by a young quarterback under intense spotlight, a coaching staff facing pressure from all sides, and a locker room determined to stay together despite the noise around them. Throughout the week, former NFL quarterbacks weighed in. Some criticized Stefanski's conservative plan. Others defended him, saying rookie quarterbacks need time and structure. But almost all agreed on one thing. The Browns needed clarity and unity before the situation spiraled. As days passed, players began stepping up to defend their coach. Some denied any tension. Others emphasized team unity. Shedeur himself dismissed the rumors as outside noise, showing maturity far beyond his experience. Still, the controversy remained alive, because in the NFL, perception is sometimes stronger than truth. What began as rumors about sabotage grew into a larger conversation about coaching styles, rookie development, team chemistry, leadership dynamics, and fan expectations. Whether Stefanski was being overly cautious, strategically conservative, or misunderstood, one thing was clear. This was not just one game. This was the beginning of a new era in Cleveland. An era defined by a young quarterback under intense spotlight, a coaching staff facing pressure from all sides, and a locker room determined to stay together despite the noise around them. The season would continue, the story would evolve, and the relationship between Kevin Stefanski and Shedeur Sanders, real or perceived, would remain a focal point for fans, analysts, and critics as the Browns moved forward. Because in the NFL, quarterback drama isn't just a storyline, it's the heartbeat of the league. Thanks for watching this full breakdown on the latest drama surrounding the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, and Shedeur Sanders. The NFL never sleeps, and neither do the storylines shaping every team in the league. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more real analysis, honest reactions, and inside coverage of the biggest moments around football, make sure you support the channel. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and share this video with other NFL fans. And don't forget to subscribe to Sideline Insiders so you never miss another breakdown, update, or controversy rocking the league. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.